The stars above Nova Eden were peaceful that night. Children played near the glowing fields. Farmers laughed as they packed their harvest. Scientists watched the moon's rise. Nova Eden was Earth's most beautiful colony. But then, the sky changed at exactly 2:19 Standard Time. A shadow passed over the colony. It was not a ship from Earth. It wasn't even something listed in the Galactic Council's registry. It was huge, silent and cold. People looked up. Some screamed, some froze. Then came the sound, a low hum like a machine breathing. The lights went out. Then the people by 2:22, Nova Eden was gone. The only thing left was a broken signal, weak, distorted, full of static. But Earth received it. Inside the signal was 1 second of clear audio, a voice yelling, "They're firing." "It's not an accident, tell Earth," then static. When the signal reached Earth's listening station, the crew didn't understand. They ran checks. They thought it might be a glitch. But when they scanned Nova Eden's last known coordinates, they found nothing. No people. No buildings. Not even Ashdod, just silence. Earth went into shock. Nova Eden had over 70,000 settlers, families, engineers, children, gone in less than 5 minutes. The Galactic responded 3 days later. A message from high speaker Lurex was broadcast across the Sol system. "We regret to inform Earth that a solar flare from the nearby star system caused an unavoidable catastrophe. The flare struck the colony without warning. Loss of life is deeply unfortunate, but no foul play was involved. We urge Earth to remain calm and not jump to emotional conclusions." Earth's leaders were not satisfied. Back in the Intelligence Department of EarthGov, analysts were reviewing the final seconds of the signal. One junior officer, a woman named Isha Mendez, noticed something strange. She enhanced the background audio and slowed it down. That's when she heard it. 3 deep pulses, low frequency, rhythmic, too perfect to be natural. It wasn't a flare. It was a weapon. Isha reported it immediately. Within hours, Earth's military command ordered a silent investigation. No broadcasts, no alerts, just quiet digging. They called the mission Project Black Sun. Earth sent probe drones into the Nova Eden region. What they found shocked even the most experienced scientists. The planet's surface was smooth, too smooth, like something had melted the entire crust. Buildings, people, forests all fused into glass, and in orbit, hidden behind a small asteroid, one drone picked up something. Unnatural. Wreckage. Alien wreckage. One piece had a symbol still intact, an insignia of the Galactic Council's military fleet. Earth now had a choice: stay silent or seek justice. The president of Earth, Elena Voss, watched the recovered footage alone in her office. The scream, the static, the melted surface, and the insignia. She didn't say a word. She simply stood up, walked to the war room, and said, "Start the preparations. Quietly, we're going to find out who did this." But not everyone on Earth wanted war. Some council members living on Earth warned against retaliation. One of them, a tall green-skinned diplomat named Saren, stepped forward in the global forum. Earth must not accuse the council based on fear. Mistakes happen. Accidents in space are common. If you strike first, you will doom yourselves. But then, something unexpected happened. A package arrived at Earth's main relay station. No sender, just a data crystal. Inside it, footage from inside Nova Eden's control tower. Cameras had recorded the sky before impact, and in the sky were 3 council warships, not passing, not helping. Firing, the footage was raw, blurry, but clear enough. Beams of light raining down from orbit, screams, shaking, and then darkness. This was no accident. Someone inside the Galactic Council had ordered the attack. Someone had tried to erase a colony, but someone else had smuggled out the truth, and now Earth had the proof. The president ordered the footage sent to Division 9, Earth's most secret agency, hidden from the galaxy. Their task was simple: find who gave the order. Find how deep this goes, and prepare, for consequences. The people of Earth mourned. Vigils lit the skies. Names of the dead were read on every channel. But behind the grief, something darker was building, not hate, not revenge. Resolve. Nova Eden would not be forgotten. And what was done in silence would be answered in fire. The Galactic Council thought it was over. They believed Earth would move on. They called it a tragedy, an accident, a closed case. But something was still alive. A secret, hidden deep, waiting to be uncovered. On a small moon station orbiting Varan 6, a low-level data technician named Daryl worked late nights alone. He was not important, not powerful, just another face in a system that didn't care. But one night, as he sorted old communications logs, he found something strange. A locked file buried inside the Council's encrypted archives. It was not supposed to be there. The file had no name, no origin tag, no record. He opened it. Inside was raw footage, internal video from a Council warship. One of the ships orbiting, Nova Eden. The ship's name was CS Belther Prime, listed officially as unarmed. But the video told another story. In the clip, Daryl saw soldiers loading weapons. He saw targeting systems lock on a colony far below. And then he saw it 3. Beams of energy striking the planet. There was no solar flare. There was no accident. Daryl stared at the screen for a long time. His hands shook. He knew what would happen to him if he reported it. People who asked questions about Nova Eden were disappearing. So instead, he ran. He copied the file onto a personal data stick, wiped the access logs, disappeared into the back channels of the galaxy. 3 weeks later, Earth's Hidden Intelligence Agency division. Neen received a small package through a secure drop channel. Inside the same footage, with a message written in broken Earth standard, "You were right." They lied. D Division 9 watched the footage. No sound, just images. Warships. Firing, civilians running. The Council had not only destroyed Nova Eden, they had also covered it up. Earth's President, Elena Voss, held an emergency meeting with the Defense Corps. Around her were men and women who had trained for war, but never thought they'd face one this big. "This changes everything," one general said. "It proves conspiracy," another whispered. But President Voss said only one thing. "Then let's start preparing for the truth and for war." But Earth couldn't strike yet. They needed to know how deep the conspiracy went. Order, who covered it up? Was the whole Council involved or just a few? Division 9 began its quiet hunt. They activated their shadow operatives. Sleeper. Agents placed inside the Galactic Council decades ago. Scientists, diplomats, engineers, all waiting for a signal now. The signal had come. Agent Callan, stationed inside the Galactic Archives, hacked into the core command logs. What he found shocked even the coldest minds. The Council had a program Project Silence created years ago. Its goal: erase dangerous colonies that might disrupt the Council's power. Nova Eden was listed as target hashtag for 3 other planets. Had already been destroyed. Their deaths blamed on natural disasters Earth had never known. Now they did. Callan sent the logs back to Division 9, but his transmission was traced. Council security stormed the archive tower. They found his body 3 hours later, but the message had already been received. Division 9 shared the information with Earth's top command. Anger turned to horror, then to focus. Earth began building, quietly in the shadows of Mars and Titan. Warships began to rise, factories switched to military mode. Old blueprints, once banned by the Council, were reopened. They called it Project Emberlight. But Earth was not just preparing weapons, it was preparing truth. A small task force was sent to gather testimonies from alien species once loyal to the Council. Some laughed in their faces, some spat, but a few listened. One alien, a reptilian named Vorak, whispered, "The Council fears you. That's why they hit Nova Eden. You build too fast. You think too freely. They wanted to break your spirit." Another alien handed Earth's team a list. Council officials involved in project, silence, names, faces, locations. One of the names stood out, Ambassador Threx, the same man who had visited Earth 2 years before, smiling, shaking hands, calling humans promising little creatures. Now Earth knew the truth. The Galactic Council didn't fear what humanity was. They feared what it could become. And so, Earth made a new decision. They would not go to war in anger. It would not strike blindly. It would unmask the Council, piece by piece. And when the truth was known across the stars, the galaxy would choose sides. The crime had been buried. But Earth had dug it back up, and soon, the whole galaxy would see what lay beneath. The Galactic Council was growing nervous. Reports were leaking. Whispers of Earth's silent mobilization were spreading through hidden networks. Ships were leaving Earth's shipyards with no registration. Space traffic around Mars and Saturn increased. Something was happening, so the Council made a decision. They would send a warning, not a public one, but a quiet show of strength. 3 fleets, elite, silent, deadly. Each made of fast cruisers, scouts, and stealth corvettes. They would patrol. Near human space, they wouldn't attack, unless Earth did something stupid. Their job was simple: watch, scare, and if needed, dash, erase. The fleets were called Unit 47, Black Unit.
Watch Coil Unit.
Stormlighty left the core worlds and vanished. Into deep space, that was the last time anyone saw them. Two weeks passed. No word, no signal, no distress call. At first, the Council assumed the fleets were just running dark. Normal protocol. But then, something strange arrived. A Council listening post on the edge of Sector 19 received a broken message. Somewhere inside cell-controlled space, the signal was damaged, barely readable. The only words that came through were, "They see us. We shouldn't have come." Then silence. No explosions. No wreckage. Just nothing. The Council tried to trace the signal's origin, but it was scrambled. Artificially. Someone had erased the trail. The Council sent probes. Then scouts. None came back. Now they were worried. Inside the Council's war chamber, High Speaker Lurek slammed his fist on the table. 3 fleets, he roared. Gone. How does a primitive planet make fleets disappear? No one answered. Some suggested space pirates. Others blamed cosmic anomalies. A few suspected Earth but didn't dare say it out loud until one member finally whispered, "What if? They're not the same anymore." Meanwhile, on Earth's side of the galaxy, something else was happening. The President's secret command, Division 9, had activated Phase 2 of Project Emberlight. It wasn't just warships. It was something new. Hybrid stealth vessels built using alien technology, stolen and reverse-engineered over the past 50 years. Ships that didn't make sound, didn't show up on radar, didn't leave heat trails. Ships that could watch fleets from up close without being seen, and if needed, strike without warning. Earth had used these ships to monitor the Council's patrol fleets. They didn't fire first. They waited. And when the Council's ships crossed into a hidden, Earth-controlled boundary, the response was immediate. Not with missiles, not with lasers. With electromagnetic silence, the Council fleets lost power. Their ships went dark. Communication systems failed. Engines froze. They floated helpless. Then Earth's stealth ships moved in. No one knows exactly what happened in those final minutes. All the data was sealed by Division 9. But those Council fleets were never heard from again. Earth didn't claim responsibility. They didn't need to. The galaxy began to guess. Inside alien news networks, rumors started to grow. Earth has secret weapons. Earth has warships now. Earth has ships that bend gravity. Earth doesn't warn before it strikes. Most species thought it was propaganda, but some started to listen. A merchant captain from the Venari race gave a quiet interview. To a fringe broadcast channel, he said, I flew near human territory 2 weeks ago. I saw something. A shadow moving across the stars. No sound. No light. Then my sensors shut down. I turned and ran. I don't care what the council says. I'll never go near them again. The video was deleted within a day, but it was already too late. The fear was spreading. The council sent another fleet to investigate the missing units this time, and they stayed far from Earth's space. They found only one thing: a council beacon floating in space. Its message was short: do not come closer. On Earth, President Elena Voss stood. In the command center beneath New Washington, the stars above were changing. Fear was shifting. For the first time in history, the council was reacting to Earth, not controlling it. Her advisors asked, should we make it public? Should we show what we can do? She shook her head. No, she said, let them wonder. Because sometimes fear grows faster in silence. Earth wasn't looking for praise. It was building something greater. The council had lost 3 fleets. The galaxy was whispering, and Earth was just getting started. The Galactic Council could no longer ignore Earth. 3 elite fleets had vanished without a trace. Probes sent into soul space had gone dark. And now, even their most loyal spies on Earth had stopped reporting. Something had changed. Earth wasn't just angry. Earth was preparing. The council gathered in the Grand Chamber, an ancient hall built inside a hollowed-out moon orbiting Velas. Prime, it was here, centuries ago, that the council first invited Earth to join their peaceful order. Now the same species who once laughed at humans sat in silence. High Speaker Lorex stepped forward, his golden robe dragging across the floor. His voice echoed through the room. We gave Earth a seat among the stars. We offered them protection, knowledge, and peace. But they chose war. They threaten us with silence, with fear, with vanishing ships and missing fleets. We must remind them they are still new, still small, still under our command. Some delegates nodded. Others looked uncertain. Then the representative from the Alarian old telepathic race spoke. And if they no longer see us as rulers, what then, High Speaker? Shall we order their destruction and repeat Nova Eden all over again? Sharp silence followed. The room remembered Nova Eden. The lie, the cover-up. The colony Earth never forgot. High Speaker Lurex ignored the comment. Instead, he raised a glowing datasphere and said, we will send one final demand, direct message. To Earth's leader, she will appear before this council. She will answer our charges. And if she refuses, Earth will face judgment. The vote passed, barely back on Earth. President Elena Voss sat inside her sealed briefing room deep beneath Antarctica base. The message from the Galactic Council glowed on the central screen. Every sentence was wrapped in arrogance. Earth is hereby ordered to appear before the Galactic Council within 7 solar rotations. Failure to comply will be taken as a declaration of rebellion. Your fleets, your silence, your hidden actions must be answered. President Voss said nothing at first. She simply leaned back, calmed around her. Generals and advisors waited. One finally spoke. Do we respond? She gave a small smile. Yes, I'll go. Gasps followed. Ma'am, it's a trap one. Warned, they'll arrest you. Humiliate us. She looked around the room and said, let them try. Because Earth wasn't the same as before. They didn't need to shout. They didn't need to threaten. They only needed to arrive. 6 days later, a single ship entered the council's space. It wasn't large, not armed. It was an older diplomatic cruiser, long thought retired, but its escort was unlike anything seen before. Above and behind it floated 3 black triangular vessels. It's completely silent, without registration, and invisible to council radar until the last second. Stealth ships. Earth's message was clear. You don't control us anymore. When President Voss stepped into the Grand Chamber, the room went quiet. The human leader walked calmly to the center. No guards, no weapons, just presence. High Speaker Lurex stood. You come here after hiding your warships after your fleets destroy ours. After refusing to cooperate with our peacekeeping efforts, President Voss raised her hand. He stopped talking. She spoke. Her voice cold, but steady. We did not start this. We erased our colony. You murdered our civilians. Then you lied about it. Then you sent fleets to threaten us. They crossed into restricted space. They never returned. A murmur swept across the chamber. She continued. You call this peace? You demand answers? Fine. Here is Earth's answer. She opened a small projector on her wrist. Footage appeared. Above the chamber, Nova Eden, the screams, the beams of energy, 3 council warships firing on civilians. And finally, the council insignia glowing on one of the ship hulls, the truth broadcast. Across every screen in the chamber. Some gasped, others shouted. Several delegates stood in shock. Then President Voss added one last thing. If Earth wanted war, you'd already know. We came today to offer you one chance. End Project Silence. Arrest those responsible, or, she paused, or keep playing God, and face something even you don't understand. Then she walked away. Just like that. No threat, no plea, just truth. Hours later, the chamber fell into chaos. The ILR demanded an emergency investigation. The Drask delegation walked out. Rulin's longtime enemies of Earth demanded sanctions, but no one backed them. The council was breaking. Fear was spreading, not because Earth had spoken with rage, but because Earth had spoken with evidence, and the galaxy had listened. The video of Nova Eden spread across the stars like wildfire in less than 4 solar days. Over 600 alien worlds had seen it, every second of it. The council's warships, the civilians screaming, the beams that turned cities into fire, the clear symbol of the council's crest on the attacking vessels. The truth could no longer be denied, and something unexpected happened. Silence. The council didn't respond. No apology, no denial, no message. They had been exposed. And in that silence, something shifted across the galaxy. The first voice of resistance didn't come from Earth. It came from a planet no one expected. Velen. A quiet, ocean-covered world. A species known for music, art, and neutrality. The Velantrians never chose sides. For centuries, they stayed out of wars and politics. Until now, Velantria's Grand Conductor, an elderly being named Selen Ka, stood before the great aquatic hall, where her people floated in glowing spheres of water. Her voice was calm but powerful. We saw the video. We heard the cries. This was not war. This was murder, and we were silent for too long. She paused, then said words that hadn't been spoken on Velantria in generations. We will stand with Earth. It shocked the galaxy. Velantria was the first world to break away from the Council after the Nova Eden, Revel. But they weren't just offering words. They sent a message directly to Earth. A message President Elena Voss received personally. We are sending 20 medical ships, 10 food freighters, and our communication satellites to your colonies. And more important, our voice. You are not alone. Voss read the message silently, then looked at her advisors. This is just the beginning, she whispered. The Council reacted fast. They couldn't allow member species to take. Earth sighed. They issued a formal warning to Velantria. Withdraw your support for Earth immediately, or face sanctions. Velantria answered with one line, We survived without the Council before. We will survive after. More cracks began to form. On the trade world of Syraxis, protesters filled the streets chanting Justice for Eden. Banners of Earth's flag appeared in marketplaces. Council police tried to suppress it, but the anger kept growing. In the mining colonies of Droxwelv, workers went on strike. Half of them were human, the other half? Drask-born, laborers once enemies of Earth. Now they locked arms. One of them told a news drone, We used to think humans were dangerous. Now we see they're just tired of being controlled. Like us. Inside the Council's war chamber, panic began to spread. High Speaker Lorek stood before the delegates. His voice trembled not with fear, but with fury. Earth is poisoning the minds of the galaxy. They are turning our allies into traitors. But even among the Council's own members, doubt had begun to grow. The Ilari representative, whose race could feel emotions, said coldly, "Perhaps Earth is not poisoning minds. Perhaps it is cleaning wounds." The room fell quiet. The Council was losing control. One world had stood with Earth. Now others were thinking about it. Meanwhile, Earth did not celebrate. President Voss knew this was no victory. Just a step. Valantria had taken a great risk. Earth needed to show strength and return on with more weapons. But with unity, she called an emergency summit with Earth's colonies and close allies. The goal: create a new alliance. Something beyond the Council. Something honest, they called it the Pact of Free Worlds. A promise to never hide the truth, to never repeat Nova Eden, and to never let any one power control the rest. Valantria was the first to sign, then Drox-12's labor unions, then the free moon city of Caldras, known for housing exiles. More were coming, and the Council was watching in a dark corner of the galaxy. 2 Council destroyers hovered near Valantria's trade lane. They weren't there for patrol. They were there for intimidation. But before they could act, before they could scan or threaten 5 Black, ships decloaked behind them. Earth's stealth fleet, no warning, no transmission, just presence. The Council destroyers turned and fled. Valantria sent Earth a final message that day. We saw them leave. We are not afraid anymore. The galaxy had changed. One world had stood up. Others had begun to whisper. Soon those whispers would become thunder and Earth. Earth was no longer rising. It was leading. The Galactic Council was breaking. Worlds were rising. Valantria had sided with Earth. Protests spread across colonies. Earth's silence, its missing enemies, and its growing influence had made the Council look weak. But the High Speaker still had one card left. A weapon so secret, even most Council members didn't know it existed. They called it the Hollow Flame. It wasn't a ship. It wasn't an army. It was something older. A construct buried deep, beneath the gas moon Serithkul, sealed for thousands of years. A relic from before the Council even existed, created by the lost race known only as the First Light. The Hollow Flame was never meant to be used, but fear changes everything. And Earth had made the Council afraid. So the chamber doors were opened, inside. Black machines pulsed with light that didn't follow the rules of physics. The air shimmered. The silence felt alive. A scientist assigned to awaken it whispered, "It's watching us." Still they activated the sequence, and the Hollow Flame woke up. 3 days later, near the edge of Sal-controlled space, something strange happened. Star blinked, not exploded, not faded. Blinked astronomers on Mars noticed first. The star, once stable, now gave off corrupted light, as if something unnatural had passed near it. Then Earth's deep space probes went silent. 3 in a row, gone. No signal. No debris. Then came the first whisper, a distress call from an outer listening post. The message repeated. Something is coming. It bends space. It kills light. We don't know what it is. The signal cut. Inside Earth's main defense command, alarms lit up. President Elena Voss stood before a wall of red signals. General Harlan spoke quickly. It's moving at subspace levels we've never seen. It's not a fleet. It's a field, like gravity but worse. Sensors can't see through it. Voss frowned. Is it from the Council? Harlan nodded. We intercepted a fragment of code. It matches the ancient tech from the Serithkul moon. They've awakened something they don't even understand. She didn't blink. And it's time we show them what we understand. Earth had its own secret. Not as old as the Hollow Flame, but far more. Your men. During the early years of Council rule, Earth scientists had discovered alien relics, buried deep under Antarctica. Strange cores machines that reacted only to emotions. They called it Project Heirloom. For decades, it remained hidden. Until Nova Eden. until the council pushed too far. And now, it was ready. 2 days later, as the hollow flame approached a human colony called Redhold, the skies tore open, the planet's defenses powered up. But Earth didn't send its navy. It sent one ship. One glowing white ship covered in energy patterns. No one recognized. It didn't fire missiles. It pulsed. A wave of harmonic frequency spread from it. Not sound, not radiation. Something deeper. The hollow flame paused for the first time. It stopped moving. Earth's ship floated silently in front of it. Then a voice echoed through space. A simple message, broadcast across all Council and Allied. Systems, we are not afraid. You forgot what fear is. Suddenly, the hollow flame turned. It didn't attack, it fled. Like an animal recognizing something stronger, and the message was clear. Earth's new weapons didn't run on fuel, they ran on will. Back at Council HQ, the delegates watched in silence. A weapon older than the stars had been pushed back by a human ship. High Speaker Lurex stood frozen. Staring at the feed, he whispered, "What have they become?" No one answered, because deep down they all felt the same thing. The humans were no longer under the Council's control. They weren't just equals now, they were beyond, and the galaxy would never be the same. The hollow flame vanished into deep space. No one followed it. No one could. After, Earth's white ship, powered by emotion and ancient human will, pushed it back. The galaxy went quiet. Not a single council ship dared enter Sol's borders. Not after what they had seen, but Earth wasn't finished. Not yet. President Elena Voss knew this silence wouldn't last. The council would rebuild. Plan, hide, wait. So she decided to end it her way. A week later, the skies above the Galactic Council's Grand Chamber darkened. Not because of nightfall, but because a fleet had arrived. Not just the Lantrian medical ships, Syraxis trading cruisers, Draxel mining barges turned warships, even free Ilari thought vessels. A united armada of species that once feared, Earth now flying with it. They didn't fire, they didn't threaten, they only hovered. Waiting then, one small human shuttle dropped from the center of the formation. It landed on the Council's moon station. President Voss walked alone through the empty halls. No guards. No weapons. Just truth in the Grand Chamber. The remaining council members sat in silence. Many chairs were empty. Some worlds had fled. Others had switched sides. Voss walked to the center and stood before them. Her voice echoed. Clearly, you created the council to keep peace. But over time, it became a throne, a cage, a lie. You erased Nova Eden, called it justice. You sent fleets to Earth and called it peacekeeping. You awakened a god weapon to break our will. You looked each of them in the eye. We didn't. Just survive. We evolved. No one interrupted her. Even the High Speaker remained still. Voss continued. This is Earth's final warning. We don't want war, but we will never again ask for a seat at your table. We are the table now. The Free World's pact will replace your council. Murmurs spread. Anger, shock, fear. She held up a glowing sphere. It projected the pact of free worlds signed by over 70 species. We are many. We are united. We are not ruled by fear or silence anymore. One council member, trembling, asked, if we refuse, what happens then? Voss looked at him and answered, softly, then you'll find out what true silence feels like. Not the silence of threats, but the silence of being forgotten. Outside, the fleet waited. No weapons raised, just presence and presence. Now was Earth's greatest power. The High Speaker stood. He didn't argue, didn't fight. He simply sat. Defeated. A new age began that day. The council didn't dissolve, but its power vanished. The Free World's pact rose quickly. Open, fair, transparent. Decisions made in light, not in shadows. The Lantria hosted the first peace summit. Drox 12 provided mining routes for all. Earth became the spine, not an empire, not a ruler, a protector. A reminder that even when humanity is betrayed, even when it is burned, it returns stronger and never forgets in a quiet corner of space. A final message was sent from Earth, not to the Council, not to allies, but to everyone. To all species among the stars, we have learned, we have grown, we remember who hurt us, but we also remember who stood beside us. Our message is simple: stand free, stand proud, or step aside. The stars listened, and for the first time in galactic history, they listened to Earth.